Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero and pop culture, and that's, of course, movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, and we do some speculation, all of that good and nerdy stuff. I am Mo De Poupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. What's up, man? What's going on today, Ladi?
Nothing much. How are you doing? I'm ready to talk about this stuff. There's a lot I need to catch up on, man. It's been one hectic weekend, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, nerd stuff is high in the pop culture space right now. It's hard to keep up. I feel like I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. Like, and it's spooky season too, so we got Halloween stuff going on too, man. It's me and Jen are going. We're embarking on a Halloween movie marathon, trying to watch one per day. But man, I'm just trying to stay caught up on the TV shows. Interview with the Vampire, the new series just started yesterday, and then of course,
hmm
we got She-Hulk's coming to a close, and House of the Dragon, and it's crazy. So it's hard out there for a nerd uh, trying to keep
I
up with
felt
all this
that.
shit. So anyway, but this Supercast, we're going to talk about superhero stuff. We got a bunch of news this week. As usual, we like to keep up with all of the goings on as new things are popping up. So this week we're talking about Avengers: Secret Wars finds its new writer. There's a change to Don Cheadle's Armor Wars series for the good. We got that Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the new trailer. We're gonna talk about it and give our review. Ryan Reynolds has some pretty earth-shattering news for Deadpool 3. Some changes, shakeups on the Blade movie, and we're gonna find out, is it Project in trouble? And finally, is Kevin Feige stretched too thin? We're gonna look at that and make our estimation. So that's everything we're gonna be talking about this week. Lottie, you ready to jump into this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get to it, man. Avengers: Secret Wars. We know that was, dude. That was announced at D20, not D23. It was announced at Comic Con earlier, a couple months ago, I guess you'd say. And first of all, Secret Wars, what a huge story. And we've been wondering, like, what the heck are they going to do with the Avengers? They hadn't even mentioned them in Phase 4. But Secret Wars is coming out, and now they have announced their writer. And Lottie, it's a familiar face. Well, maybe not, probably not familiar. I mean, I doubt we know what this guy looks like. He's just a writer. No one knows who those guys are. Whenever we ask people to answer questions about the show, we always ask the actors who don't know a fuck thing about the story. They just repeat the words. We should be asking the writers. And this guy, if he wrote and show ran on Loki, the first season of Loki, and he wrote Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and he's got writing credits on a bunch of other nerdy shit too. So apparently they like this guy. His name's Michael Waldron, and they like him at Marvel. Which, by the way, you know how Feige is. You get in good with him. See also the Russo brothers. You get in or Marcus and McFeely. Marcus and McFeely. Those are the guys that wrote Winter Soldier and both of the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. So,
Yeah.
all right. So this is the guy, Lottie. Yeah, I won't want to say yay or nay, but does this give you some confidence? Are you thinking, hey, they've got the right guy?
Um. So he wrote the second the second movie, right? So he definitely has because Secret Wars has to do with a lot of multiversal stuff, right?
Yep. It's in
So he
fact, if they're doing what I think they're doing, that's going to be the Battle World Secret Wars, where the multiverse is crammed into one giant world that's blocked off by these walls that kind of keep the different worlds separate. So like literally, Marvel Zombies is going to exist next to Age of Apocalypse, next to you know I don't know. There's just Old Man Logan or something like that. That's what I think. That's what they're doing. So
Yeah, so he can. He definitely has his. He definitely has his skill when it comes to writing. Uh, what is that thing called? These different multiverses. So he definitely has the skill in writing it. It's just, man, this is going to be a task. This is going to be a task because this is pretty much Avengers 5 or
no,
Avengers
this is
4.
six. This is six. This is coming after the Kang Dynasty.
Oh, man, this is going to be huge, man. This is probably going to be, man. He probably better start writing now. 'Cause
Oh, well,
boy,
guaranteed there. Oh, there guarantees he's already. He probably already pitched his general idea about uh, how he would approach it, and that's. I mean, I think so. That's probably what happened.
how many pages you think this will be? Like
A
3 to
hundred,
400?
100,000. Because if I'm telling you, in the comics, Secret Wars was an event, and why event? I mean, you remember. Event comics that every comic had to have something to do with it. That's what it was. It was a comic plus a bunch of tie-in comics to explore the world. And this is supposed to take place in, I'm going to assume 4 hours because, I mean, how do you have time to tell a multiversal story starring everybody and probably the mutants are going to be in it too? I mean, like this. I mean, do you remember how? When they did? This wasn't Marvel, but Fox did, Days of Future Past. And they had the stuff happen in the future and stuff happening. I mean, that's the sort of, it's bigger than that. So, I mean, at least we know he knows what to do. He did Loki and he did Multiverse of Madness. And I hear tell that he's developing and writing the script for Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. So the guy, he knows his nerd stuff, definitely, and they like him over there. But some people seem to be having a problem with this because Ladi, I don't know if you knew this, but Multiverse of Madness wasn't universally praised. It's hard to believe, right? That it made not $950 million, but somehow a bunch of people weren't so excited about it.
Yeah, I know some people are saying they had a little problem of the movie because they felt that Strange wasn't the main character in his own movie, and I can understand what they were coming from. But the movie, in my opinion, wasn't. It was a pretty good movie. I just think that some people weren't ready for the attack of the Raging Karen. That's what I.
Yeah, I would say, was it one of the stronger movies? I mean, I think it's in the top half of the MCU movies. So, I mean, that's good. And Loki was great. I loved Loki. So, I mean, I'm cool with this. Look, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm serious about this. I trust Kevin Feige and Victoria Alonso, Louis D'Esposito. They're the head honchos over there. And if they say this is the guy, or the woman, then that's who it is, and I trust them. So that's my take on it. I'm optimistic. And besides, this is damn near 3 years from now. So I think, he's got time. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So, but we'll come back to that. I'm sure we'll start hearing some stuff about that in the coming year. Moving on to Armor Wars. Ladi, remember we were like, oh shit, they're doing an Armor Wars thing, right? That's awesome. And then, D23 and Comic-Con passed. Comic-Con, they were like, we're doing Armor Wars. D23 passed, no talk of it whatsoever. And so people were like, what the hell? Are y'all abandoning Rhodey? Are you guys never going to make this thing? It turns out that's not what's going on. They did not abandon it. In fact, Kevin Feige pulled up and said, Rhodey, I'm going to pimp your ride. In the sense that he is upgrading this. They are upgrading it to a movie. They're making a theatrical release for Armor Wars. To which I say, fuck yeah. I mean, like, So why wouldn't Rhodey get his own movie? Well, number one, why wouldn't he get his own movie? And number two, thank God someone looked at this. It was supposed to be a 6 episode thing, and they said, you know what? Why are we stretching this out over 6 episodes when we can just do this in 2.5 hours and move on, right? And so I I think I like this because again I want Don Cheadle to get his own, to get the big budget movie treatment. But second, I want them to start realizing that not every damn story with a second tier or maybe third tier character needs a damn TV show, right? That it could have been told as a movie and maybe have been a more uh, rewarding experience. All right, so Lottie, uh, what do you think about this becoming a movie now?
So I'll say this: a lot of kids who grew up in the '90s, especially fighting game fans, knew about War Machine before Iron Man because War Machine was in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and Iron Man didn't get into it until Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So a lot of people that like or '90s kids actually are more recognize uh War Machine more than they do Iron Man, and honestly, it's like you said, it's about time that we get an War Machine movie because I think I think Marvel abandoning the armor movies like Iron Man is kind of like the Iron Man and things like that is sort of a move I think they should get back into doing because like I said, Rhodey is he is a military guy. So this could be like a cross between a Captain America movie and an Iron Man movie
Hmm.
together. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
Like,
we already know she's gonna show up in Secret Invasion. So that Secret Invasion is essentially gonna be setting up, I think, Armor Wars. Again, it's a movie, so definitely at least gonna be a tighter story. They don't have to stretch things out as much to justify the multiple episodes. Which I think we can argue. You could argue that some of the Disney Plus, Star Wars, and Marvel things maybe could have just been compressed and tightened up and just made into movies. I think
I think what's the call should have been a movie. I really think Moon Knight
Moon Knight,
should
yeah,
have been. I think Moon Knight should have been a movie.
that's
Like, I really feel it should have been a 2.5 hour movie.
yeah. I mean, you tighten it up into a movie, and suddenly it's a lot more compelling. And I think another thing is you get money. You get
Yeah,
you spend those millions, you get some millions back. Like this this is easy work. Like when it goes to Disney Plus, as much as I love the Disney Plus things, you ain't making no money off of that. People are already
yeah.
subscribed.
That's why I
Uh,
said like the two shows that should have been movies straight up was Loki and
I don't know about
was
Loki. I'm not sure about Loki.
I think Loki could have been a movie because
That'd have been a hard sell to get that into 2.5 hours or 2 hours and
I
15
feel
minutes.
like honestly when you think about it, man, there's a couple of things they could have cut the fat out of. There's a lot of like the first few episodes they could have cut the fat out of it.
Yeah, I mean
Like
probably. I mean honestly, there's an argument for most of the Disney Plus shows, except for maybe WandaVision probably wouldn't have worked.
no,
Uh,
WandaVision had
but
to be a
but Miss
WandaVision.
Marvel could have been a movie. They could have made a movie out of Miss Marvel.
There's a couple of shows that if you really think about it, like there's some episodes they could have just cut out. Like I'm really seeing how Loki could have been a 2 hour movie.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean it. I mean it. There's. I mean I think there's argument most of the Disney Plus. Hell, Falcon and Winter Soldier maybe. Even though I think that you lose some of the nuance to
I
Falcon
think
and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier should have remained a TV
Yeah,
show, just because the simple fact it's getting a movie.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Loki is never getting a movie, so it should have been a TV. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
the thing. Same thing with Moon Knight.
yeah.
Like, well, they'll be idiot. They'll be dumb if they never make a Moon Knight movie. I'm just saying.
Well, I think if anything, we see this shows at the very least that they looked at the story. They're like, why does this have to be that long? It really could be more cooler. And also, I if I think about it a little more, also probably they looked at how his character was in Secret Invasion, and in the show that's coming up, and maybe they realize like, wait, there's a lot more cool stuff that people will probably want to pay to see from Rhodey, and also, again, people love him. Like they don't love him as much as Tony, but he's pretty close up there, and he's an OG. He deserved. I think he deserved it. So I'm really happy for Don Cheadle. He's he's a great actor. He's done a great job in this role. So let's get it. Let's show some love. So that's coming out. I want to say, is it next year, or are they starting filming next year? So it's probably the year after that. Moving on, still on Marvel, y'all. We got today. They dropped this morning the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer. Like we had already seen sort of a bit of a teaser or something like that. And now we get a full trailer just before tickets went on sale. Which, by the way, I went and got the tickets. I don't know if you've gotten your ticket yet. I went and got my tickets for opening.
No, not yet.
Because I don't play. As soon as I saw they said tickets on sale, I was like, oh shit. And I went straight to the AMC app and got my tickets on deck. Because I will not be going to work the next day and having people say, did you see it? And say no. I will hang my head in shame if I can't tell people at work that I saw Wakanda Forever first. So anyway, the trailer came out. It's got some stuff in it, Ladi. Some stuff I wasn't expecting them to show. And I don't know what you saw it. What'd you think about it?
I'll just say this. Like, there was a couple of people who were like, there was a couple of fan theories going around talking about this movie's happening during the blip. And I said, Cap, this is not happening during the blip. Because people are still holding on to them recasting T'Challa in the main universe. And I said, it's not happening, guys.
Well, what if maybe some aspects of it, maybe some flashbacks are during the blip, but I would say no. This is post blip, definitely.
Yeah, because like there's two main reasons why I don't believe it's happening to blip. Because it's been confirmed that Shuri was gone during the blip, and what's her name was running it, the country, Okoye, and also, Black Widow called constantly to see if everybody around the world needed help. I have a hard time believing Black Widow would not help help Wakanda during the blip if they're being attacked. So I was like, no, I don't believe this is happening during the blip. So, and I was just telling everybody that, spoilers, Shuri is Black Panther. Like I knew, like the toy spoiled it like over a month, almost 2 months ago.
I honestly, I didn't necessarily want her to be it, because I don't know if I buy her as it. But
I definitely don't buy her because she's still skinny as hell.
I don't buy it, but there's precedent for it in the comics, and I could tell you straight up right now, that Ryan Coogler, who's co-writing this, he's tight. He in the first movie he took his cue from the comics, not from a certain run of the comics, and so some by Christopher Priest, but I knew exactly the run of comics he was going for, and then in that run, Shuri becomes Black Panther. And so I was like, there's no way they don't do that. And it just makes sense, especially with Chadwick gone. The next logical person, comics-wise, is Shuri. So, that being said, that part that came up, if other people are like, how it's a woman, I'm like, God, you know what? Just y'all go.
To be honest, I don't think there's a lot of people that are like saying it's because it's a woman.
It's more like it's Shuri. It's like, it's Shuri.
Yes, that's what it is. It's just like, because she when we see her in the movie and she's still a stick.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
she will be.
Like,
It's because Letitia Wright. That's just she's never gonna be a big person. That's she
no,
just
I know that. Oh, I just know that. It just looks unbelievable. You know what I mean?
well.
It just unfortunately it's just not going to,
I will say this.
move people.
I will say this. She has all the skills to give herself a technological advantage. I mean, literally in the MCU, Taskmaster exists as a suit of armor. So I can't see how she couldn't do something like that. But that's honestly, that's the least interesting part of that whole trailer to me. I'm for real the least interesting. The most interesting is motherfucking Namor and his damn wings, and he flies. And you know, some people like that's goofy. I don't give a fuck. That's my shit right there. As soon as I saw this dude flying around and dodging laser blasts from Wakandan ships, I was like, oh shit, it's on, y'all. You, yeah, it. Fuck it, I'm in. I'm 100% in. This man he is the Namor that I want to see. Like, okay, he's not from Atlanta, so I don't whatever. Dude's got wings on his feet. I'm done. Take my money. I'm like Fry. Shut up and take my money. And then we got to see the great ape M'Baku, trying to tell him like, y'all don't. I don't think we won't smoke with this fool because if it's like if we kill him, we could be at war forever. I'm like, man, M'Baku, tell the truth. Go ahead and tell it. And then Angela Bassett, it looks like she's going off right there. I mean, look, this shit look tight. That's all I gotta say. This shit looks tight. There's so much going on in there, and it looks beautiful. It looks like it's going to be. It's not nonstop action, but the general was looking like she's about to go hard, and then we see the Calocan. I think that's the name of the Warriors going hard. It's about to go down. Ladi, I know didn't mean to steal your thunder, but like, yeah. I mean, am I on the right page here with you?
Yeah. It looked good. Like I'm definitely gonna watch it. It looks good. A few iron heart parts. It looks like she's
Oh
gonna have
yeah.
a massive suit. It looks like her suit's gonna be fucking massive. Her Mark One, because I already see her doing the Iron Man hammer thing. Dun, 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 dun. Well,
Yeah.
they're probably gonna change it to like a hip hop beat of her doing the
Something.
hammer.
I would love for them to do a sequence of her working on the Ironheart suit, and then she and Shuri like tag teaming that damn suit. I bet them girls just going just like getting it in the shop, going to work like they're Dominic Toretto working on a damn Hemi engine. I just want to see it, and that's yo.
Only thing that pains me a little bit of is that I kind of wish Iron Man was alive to kind of like take her under her wing. That's the one thing that like pains me because it's sort of like because in there's one show that Ironheart is his daughter,
Hmm.
and it was just like to see like Iron Man have that like that other side of him, finding out he slept with this woman in Harlem all those years ago, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm your daughter," and I was just like, it was like a little cool thing, but who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, I think they gave us a lot. Plus, the music in that was tight. I mean, like it was just a great trailer, and it did what it was supposed to get me to run out and get some tickets. So, good job, Marvel, and we can't wait. That's next month. Can't believe that's all the way next month, but I can't believe we're almost there. Actually, to be honest. So glad to see that, and we're gonna talk about it more. As I'm sure we're gonna get more stuff as it leads up to that release date. Speaking of like big news, like or big video releases, we found out this week Ryan Reynolds. First of all, this man's like the king of marketing and shit. Like, there's only about two other people that are any good at self promoting their shit, and like it's The Rock, basically. that like self promotes the hell out of their stuff. But Ryan Reynolds got on Twitter and released a little video when he was talking about, you know, trying to figure out ideas for Deadpool 3 and everything like that. And it was real funny because Ryan Reynolds is funny. He's talking about he had, he soul searched and he had nothing. And then he's like, I had an idea. And then you see in the background a man walks past and and Ryan says, "Hey Hugh, you want to come back and play Wolverine one more time?" And Hugh Jackman's like, "Yeah, sure, Ryan." And that's was the way they announced Deadpool 3 is going to have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And let me tell you, I wanted to slow clap. I want to stand up and slow clap for that. Because, man, they have been sort of trolling us about this. I feel like for years, ever since we've known that there was a Deadpool, there's been a troll about, oh, is Hugh Jackman ever going to come back as Wolverine? And remember, he said, like, I'm done playing Wolverine, what, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then just to have him just like, sure, Ryan, was awesome. It was great. And also, it not just great in the way they presented, just like real. Then they went and did a second video where they're like, well, we're explaining what our ideas are for this. And they just they're sitting up there supposedly going to explain the story. And then there's just they're playing, Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go to kind of cover over what they're talking about. And so, I mean, look, Ladi, first of all, do you want to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine? And just second question, just how crazy do you think these guys are about to take this? Because, like, if this is just the announcement, what the fuck are they going to actually do in the movie?
So I saw a guy, and he said the funniest joke. He said, "Man, I wonder how good Ryan Reynolds had to massage his balls to get him to come back." Because remember, he said that joke in the first one. I bet you guys are wondering whose balls I had to he said, whose balls I had to play with to get my own movie. It rhymes with Pulverine. And he said, now imagine how much he had to massage his balls to get him to come back. And I'm like, wow, yes, like this. I mean, the simple fact I'm watching it and I just see Hugh Jackman walk by, and I was like, no, 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 sure, yes, this movie's gonna be fucking hilarious. I already know a Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be so fucking funny.
Cause, well, I can imagine at the time when that was announced, the collective nerdgasm that went on. But also just remembering something very to kind of keep in mind, for optimism's sake. Josh Brolin came in as Cable, right? And remember he's a gruff oh, I'm all business and he was a hilarious foil to Deadpool's foolishness, right?
Yes.
And so I cannot imagine that there's going to be anything other than that. Because if you read the comics at all, Deadpool and Wolverine's interactions are always hilarious because Wolverine kind of can't stand him, right? He kind of can't stand the guy, even though they worked together. They were on X-Force and everything like that. But he's so serious and having to put up with this admittedly very effective killer mutants antics, right? And Deadpool so hard wants to be like besties with him. So that whole dynamic is bound to be hilarious. And just the fact that, I mean, everyone, no, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone loves Ryan Reynolds and everyone loves Hugh Jackman. So, and everyone loves Deadpool and everyone loves Wolverine. I literally can't see how this goes wrong. Oh, and also, you know who the director is? The Free Guy director. So, how can this possibly go wrong? The only downside is it's 2 years from now. coming out in 2024. That's the only downside to this. Everything else is awesome. So, Lottie, what did we? Sometimes I ask myself, what did we do as nerds to deserve this? What have we done?
Only way that this movie will change will just make people like probably have a nerd, like you said, an even bigger nerdgasm. If we find out Spider-Man's in this movie,
Oh my God!
if you
Get out
put
of here!
Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Deadpool in one movie, I think the screen will blow up. I don't think I don't think anybody can handle having all three of those funny ass characters in
Yeah.
one movie. Like, would they be able to even film that movie? Because
What?
people would just be laughing.
You know, canonically within the comics, Deadpool also tries to be besties with Spider-Man.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man reluctantly puts up with them. So
He can
yeah,
see his spider sense. He calls it shine. He calls it shiny. Ooh, shiny. Wait, you can see my spider sense?
so man. Oh, but you know what? Let's get to that first. For the third outing, I'm calling it $1 billion movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Could be the first $1 billion R-rated movie. But I'm
Yeah.
calling it.
Yeah.
There's no way they'd have to shit the bed so hard to not be $1 billion. And
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's awesome news. Really looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to all of the antics that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are going to get up to, and as they get closer and closer in their marketing this. I'm anticipating an epic marketing campaign, so we're gonna see. We're really excited about it. Now on to some not so good. This is I didn't realize this. This is all Marvel news this week. Sorry, DC, but maybe I should do some shit that anyone cares about. This not so good Marvel news. So we were all looking forward to Blade. Blade was announced. I can't believe it's 2019. They announced Mahershala Ali as he's going to.
It's even further back. Wow.
Oh yeah, so 2019. And let's be reminded, Mahershala Ali, he's not a spring chicken. I think he's in his 50s, early 50s. But 2-time Academy Award winner. He wanted to be Blade. He said he knocked on Kevin Feige's door and was like, "Hey, I want to be Blade." And Kevin Feige was like, "Oh, well, come right on in, sir," and escorted him straight onto the stage to show that he was going to be Blade. Okay, that's what happened. They got a director. Everything's cool. They're gearing up. Literally in I think it was going to be in November. They were going to start filming this movie. Well, not anymore. Because Bassam Tariq, who is set to be the director of this, has bowed out. He's no longer going to be the director. He's going to stay on as executive producer, but not going to be directing Blade anymore. Which the next thing you'd be like, well, if he's not directing, who's directing? And that's the question. They don't know. They don't know who's going to direct. They're looking for a director right now. And so, Ladi, is this project in trouble? It was supposed to be coming out. Mind you, it was supposed to come out next year. Or I think maybe it was next year or 2024. Maybe 2024. Early. It doesn't look like that's happening. Like at all. Because there's been no word about a new director. And there's more rumors that not only is the director the problem, but also maybe the script isn't all that good, and that there is real trouble with the project right now, and that Mahershala Ali is just like, what the fuck? So
yeah,
Ladi, what you think, man?
Yeah, this is not just a problem. This is alarm bells, sirens going off like hurricane signs. Like, this is not good at all. Like, my mind, I was thinking it was 2020 when they announced.
You said hurricane signs. No,
yeah, like
well, if it's like any hurricane here in Florida, There's plenty of people that are still at the house like, it's fine. There's water's up to my waist. It's fine. Everything's fine. This is nothing. This hurricane's nothing.
Well, smart people. You know, it's like the tornado sirens going off. This is not just not good. This is bad. Like this is like when I thought the movie, they announced they're making a movie and the actor back in 2020. It was 2019. So it's even worse than I thought. Like this could almost be canceled, man. Like the simple fact that they don't even have a director, they haven't even filmed yet, man.
Yeah. And they were
This
supposed
is
to be. They were set to start filming in a few weeks.
this is not good, man. This is not good. The script is like, I saw that rumor too, where Mahershala Ali is not happy with that script. Like they said it's only supposed to be 90 pages and only has 2 fight scenes in it. And I'm like, I'll be pissed off too. What type of fucking Blade movie only has 2 fight scenes? What type of shit is that?
Yeah. There was 2 fight scenes in like the first 15 minutes of Blade 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell? What type of movie is this?
Yeah.
And it's like, and this isn't good, man. This isn't good. I'm just being honest. This is like this is borderlining cookie cancel type thing.
This is borderline DCEU shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like wait a minute, is David Zaslav is he working at Marvel right now? Because this shit could get fucking canceled. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen. Honestly, if anything, I think that this is a all hands on deck Kevin Feige situation, because you would look like a fucking idiot to let Mahershala Ali, first of all, for him to be pissed and for him to exit the project
When he asked you to be
Yeah.
on it.
exit the project and maybe never do a Marvel thing. That would be I'm telling you, the mystique of Kevin Feige would take a huge blow if that happened. Because he's supposed to be the fixer. He's the man. He's got the secret sauce. And he can't get Blade off the ground. Let me just say, Blade's not a hard fucking movie to crack.
No, it's not.
I'm no writer or anything like that. But think about all the Blade movies we've seen so far. Blade 1 and 2 are great. 3 is trash. But 1 and 2 are pretty great. And they all boil down to Blade fighting some fucking vampires that got some nefarious plan going on. That's it. That is literally it. And the rest of it is just him being cool as hell, kicking the fuck out of some vampires, and, defeating some big bad vampire that's got souped up. That's it. There's nothing else to those movies. It's all style and presentation. And so I don't get, like, even if they say they want to delve into like his backstory and shit, okay, cool. Still, who the hell, if this is true, in what fucking script doesn't say, scene, Blade pulls out his sword and goes ham? You don't, literally the Marvel action team, the directing team they'll figure it out. I'm crazy. This pisses me off. I don't know why this pisses me off so much, but I think Mahershala Ali he's a great talent. He wants to do this. He's in the best shape he's going to be, and he's not getting any younger. We need him in the MCU. So, like, I want them to get this together. Calling all Feiges.
Yeah. This, like you said, this kind of like upsets me because Blade is sort of like Spawn. You don't fuck up their movies because they're one of the reasons why a lot of this stuff got kicked off in the first place.
Yeah.
Blade is a movie that holds dearly in a lot of 80s and 90s kids' hearts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We've all seen it. If you are somewhat of a nerd, especially if you're somewhat of an African American or African nerd or whatever, you've seen Blade.
Yeah.
You don't fuck up Blade. You get this shit right, man. You get it right. Get the best writer you possibly get. Like, come on
Well,
now, this you got to make a good blip.
if it makes you feel any better, there's rumors or there's some indication that man by the name of Bo DeMayo has been tasked with kind of fixing everything up. He apparently is working on the X-Men '97 show, but also has done uh, some other some other shows or whatever. So he seems to, you know, have some kind of pedigree that that would help. So let's hope. We're gonna hope. You know. Also, apparently, he worked on Moon Knight, so we're gonna hope that that's what happens. We'll see. We will see. I'm sure some news about that will be coming out. Hopefully, in the next few weeks. I doubt it'll be like, oh, we're starting up now because the whole script might need to be written. But I think we'll hear about it very soon. So then, and that actually has something to do with our last item, because you know, I guess that's a bad indication of what's going on leadership wise at Marvel. We're so used to the Marvel, the Marvel team, Marvel Studios, kind of running like a well-oiled machine, putting out pretty quality projects, more or less no drama, things happening on time, etc. You know, it's not often you see things pushed. Even with COVID, pushed things around, but it wasn't because Marvel was fucking up. And so we're starting to see, I think, maybe some cracks in that armor, some some places where it's breaking down, and it's led to the question of whether or not Kevin Feige is stretched too thin. And this all comes from someone I was talking about Blade, and I guess an insider saying that they had heard that people were talking about it. Kevin Feige stretched too thin right now with all the stuff going on, and so I thought it'd be interesting at least to just talk for a little bit about whether this is true. Is Marvel doing too much, and does that mean that there's less of the Kevin Feige special sauce to go around? He can't be there to personally kind of look over things like we've heard he has done in the past. And if that's the case, what's the solution here? How do you fix what appears to be a problem of too much too fast? Lottie, go.
So there's two things because there it was a rumor like about a month or two ago about Kevin Feige might be retiring after I think they said Secret Wars or something. Who knows
I
more?
about to say, y'all stop trying to manifest that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
but who knows? More and more of this stuff is coming out. But this is the thing that I warn people about when it comes to Marvel and Xbox because I'm about to parallel the two. The thing about it is Marvel and Xbox, they're two good companies that try MCU and Xbox. They're good companies that try to make good content and stuff. But the people who own them are the problem. When you have companies like Microsoft and Disney who are content generators, they just want to make it's no longer about making one or two good hits, or it's not about making home runs anymore. It's about even if it's not a base hit, just hit the damn ball. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's getting to the point that when you start producing more and more and almost too much content, there's only so much Kevin Feige and someone like Phil Spencer can do. They can't be everywhere at once. You know what I mean? You saw the roadmap. They're in the next 3 years. They're going to release almost what 30 or 40 projects.
You're talking about so for leading up to Secret Wars. Oh my God, this gosh, I think it's something like 8 things a year for the
Exactly.
next few years.
So I said it's about to be about 30 projects. About 30 projects in the next 3 years, man. and they're just adding on to it because now Armor Wars is something they're just adding and adding and adding just content, more and more and more content. Kevin Feige can only do so much. He can only That's why you're starting to see stuff like Blade. Is it a movie that was confirmed all the way back in 2019? It looks like it's not going to get filmed anytime soon. And this is Blade. This is not like we're talking about Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
We're talking about Blade. And this is what happens, man. You just, when you keep pushing, and pushing more and more content. Kevin Feige is a human and he's getting older. Like, how old is Kevin Feige? He's probably in his like late 50s.
I think he's in his. I think he's in his 50s, like early. I don't know if it's late. I think it's early 50s. So he might be like in like 53 or 4, something like that. So he's
Yeah,
he's still in the industry, relatively young man.
yeah.
But
But it's just there's only so much he could do. You know what I mean? There's only so much, and it's just he's only 49. Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's young. So there's only so much, man. He can only do so much, man. And it's just I feel like this is one of the things that we talked about last week. That I think they need to start trimming certain things down, man, and focus on a certain amount of things that this is what we're gonna focus on, make this good, and not try to just splatter everybody with content. Because some people they're fine with that.
Are you said Feige special sauce splattering on
The thing about it is, this is the thing that Disney needs to understand. They're not Netflix.
right.
Casual people are okay with watching okay stuff. Nerds, no, we're not. Most nerds want their stuff to be good. You know what I mean? Most nerds do not want to see a casual doing of something that they grew up reading about in the comic book
Mm-hmm.
or playing as a video game. You know what I mean? They want to see it done good. And this is what Disney needs to understand. They are not Netflix. You can't, like I said, there's shows like Agatha Harkness, what is that? She-Hulk. There are shows that you can just have as a casual show to have some laughs and some people to get interested. But you have to make sure that you know that the plans like movies like Blade and all these other movies are getting the love that they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. This is where, like I said, if you just it's just when you just have way too much content, it can cause problems, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you're wrong about that. I think there's a learning process that's been going on here. Like Kevin Feige's not from TV, like at all. He's been a movie guy all his career. He started out working for Richard Donner, the man who made original Superman, and he's been on movies, producing movies ever since. So TV is a different thing to him, and he also had. Remember, they made him the chief content officer for Marvel. He's in charge everything comics. He's the buck stops with him. As far as the content creation. Comics, animation, TV, movies. That's all him. He's at the top of all of that, and he's been good for the most part of getting a group of producers and executive producers under him that can more or less filter stuff up to him that he needs to know. But that hands-on touch is it by necessity. He won't be able to be like that like he used to be. Because Marvel Studios is different now than when they first started, And I think that he's learning. And and also he's probably trying to develop other people to get in there. And it's not always working. And that's okay. I think it's okay that they are learning. Marvel Studios is learning to be a TV producer. And I think what we're starting to see is them figuring out how to do it. And by that I mean, we get Werewolf by Night, which they could have said, we're going to make a TV show out of it. We're going to make 6 episodes. What they do instead, we're making a special. It's an hour long, right? Armor
Hmm.
Wars. I think that's a good sign that Kevin Feige is starting to, you know, or at least his brain trust is trying to starting to figure out, that we don't everything can't be a TV show. All right, Armor Wars, it's a movie now because that's what made sense for the story, right? Blade is an indication that everything, not all is right in the world of Marvel Studios, but this is an opportunity for Feige to kind of work his magic, and I think this is maybe an indication that when things do sort of go off the rails, it's time for him to step in personally. But in other places, like with Black Panther 2, he's already got a trusted filmmaker and a trusted producer that can work together. With Ant-Man, he's already got trusted producer and director. With Guardians, he knows what they do and he lets them do it. But with these other ones, with the less experienced producers and directors or whatever, maybe he has to be a little bit more hands-on. I do think that he is stretched thin, and he has to be.
Hmm.
Look at everything that's coming out. Every single thing, animation, TV, movies. Yes, he's stretched too thin. But I think this is an opportunity for Kevin Feige to really show that he's developed other people so he's not the failure point. And I think that it's unfair for other people to expect him to be the reason, to come in and save the day all the time. And so, all that being said, we answered the question, what's the answer to this? And I just, like I said, I think it's time for him to be able to trust other people to sort of do their jobs. And, he's only there to just kind of be like, okay, you're right. This, you should be doing, I think you made good decisions or whatever. And let that be it. Another thing is, look, as nerds, our expectations have got to be more in line with what's going on. We have to stop being. I know you said we don't want just okay things. We gotta be. We always want them to do. To try hard to do big things and everything like that. When you swing big, sometimes you whiff, right? Or sometimes you hit. It may looks like it's going far and it doesn't quite go the distance. That's fine. We I think we should. I'm not saying we should be happy with everything that they give us. I'm saying that we should understand that we can't ask them to switch it up and do new things and give us new looks or anything, and then be mad when they try to do it. We can,
Yeah.
we have to. I don't say we got to reward bad things. What I say is we have to encourage them to not just play it safe. Because I'll be damned if I'm watching Avengers 1 and 2 retreaded 10 years from now. I won't be doing. I don't want to do that. I want new shit, and I don't want to watch. I already have the first Avengers. I don't want to see it redone. That, give me that in 30 years, but not now. So I just say let's just trust. And Feige we trust. Let's trust that he knows what he's doing, and also that they're going to give him the resources he needs to make it happen. And that's that. But you know what? We're gonna hope and we're gonna see and we're gonna keep looking at this as it moves forward. So anyway, that's all of our news for this week. Uh, Fun stuff to talk about, but maybe we missed some things, or maybe you had some opinions about these news items and what we said. If you do, get down to the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow at gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, also hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm so more people see this content. Of course, you can always hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family, help grow the channel, and hit the notification bell. It will let you know when we drop new content. We're doing reviews all up and down this channel, in addition to the Supercast. So check all of that out. And of course, I can't do this show by myself. My good friend Ladi is always there with the good insight. So, Ladi, how can they reach you on your social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anu Kinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, ANUKINIHUN. And of course, you can also find me on my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. Whenever you have time, leave a like, comment, or subscribe.
Yep, you guys go and check all of that stuff out. Show Lottie some love. And I will remind again, go hit that subscribe button, man. We're at 85 subscribers, and I know it seems like you know it seems like nothing, but we're trying to let's get to 100. How about that? Let's get us up to 100 subscribers, and we'll celebrate that victory. You got to celebrate all your victories, right? Anyway, this has been the 71st episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. Got more news. We're going to definitely talk about Werewolf by Night. It'll be a good time. So, anyway, until then, I've been Mo De Pape, resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.